Good afternoon guys, I hope you are all doing well and welcome back to once again another YouTube video. Welcome back to the channel of course. Now today, I've said this on numerous occasions, today is going to be a little bit different, but today is very much going to be a little bit different because I am going to be attempting strongman exercises, strongman activities. We're essentially going to do a strongman session today. I am 14 days out from my first show of the season. I'm pretty much peeled, so one thing that I will put out at the very start of this video is I am going to be careful. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go absolutely mental. We are going to be doing a combination of 5 different exercises today. We're going to be actually starting off on deadlifts because today is actually my deadlift day, and I think it would be pretty rude not to put deadlifts into the strongman workout. So we're going to do deadlifts first. We're then going to move from deadlifts to the log press. We're then going to go log press to farmer's carry to the yoke. And then what we're going to do is a close grip press, so something maybe down the lines of a close grip barbell press, just because it's an accessory exercise that a lot of strongmen do perform, obviously to progress things like their log pressing. So it's a very demanding and very explosive exercise, so we'll perform that today. Potentially might do something like a sled push or a pull or something like that, but realistically speaking I would like to kind of keep it to the main 5 working movements. I think that'll really be it for the majority of today's session. Whether we throw in a little bit of back work, we might not, depending how much it takes out of us. However, on deadlifts I'm going to work up to a conservative single. So I'm going to work up to a relatively easy single, and then I'm going to back down from there and maybe look towards doing something for maybe 5 to 8 good reps. And then of course, like I've said, this might be my last and final deadlift session today, so I need to be careful because with the Arnold's being next week, I'm not going to be able to fit in a major deadlift session that's going to be efficient along with another leg session, and realistically speaking, getting all my depletion sessions in, it's just not going to work. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have 2 rack pull sessions, and this will be my last and final deadlift session. So we've got to make it count today, but at the same time we're incorporating a little bit more so strongman approach because we're doing a strongman session. So again, obviously I've got to take on board, like I've already said, I'm 2 weeks out. I'm going to be as sensible as possible, so don't expect anything major, but we're going to go all out on the strongman stuff regardless. We're going to have some fun, we're going to bring some entertainment to you guys, so I hope of course you do enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, as always, don't forget to drop the video a like for me. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications, drop loads and loads of comments down below, and let's get on with today's session. One thing that I do want to say is the reason that I'm actually quite inspired to do this strongman workout today is because Scotland's Strongest Man's actually on today, and I've seen it literally being advertised so much, and not that I would ever do a strongman competition, but I just kind of got that little bit of inspiration, like, right, I think I actually want to do some sort of strongman exercises today. And again, Scotland's Strongest Man this year has got a massive team of strength shop athletes in it once again, which is awesome to see. So that's definitely one thing that I have to take on board. Obviously, with me being a natural bodybuilder who's sponsored by Strength Shop, I've definitely got to support my team who are competing in Scotland's Strongest Man today. So obviously all the best to them. Nice. Feeling fucking light. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. 2 weeks out and deadlift are feeling this good. That's a very good sign. Definitely surprised myself today compared to how deadlifts felt last week when I came in, and things were just very different. Like last week, if I probably attempted a 260 single, it probably would have been the hardest single of my life. In fact, give or take, like I might not even have got a 260 single last week with how I was feeling. However, we're a week on, I'm even more leaner, I've got a lot less energy this week. Like, I will admit, this week has been the hardest week of prep so far. And that 260 felt better than 220. And that's the kind of 260s that scare me. But at the same time, I said I was being conservative. I've got to take on board that I am 2 weeks out. I'm being sensible, and we're going 6.5. So I know this is the right decision. The hardest part for me is making that right decision, but I actually had a brand new low in weight this morning of 192 pounds. I'm unsure what it is in kilograms. I'll attach it on the screen what it is in kilograms, but 192 pounds this morning for my brand new low, 2 weeks out. So we'll go 280, conservative single, and then we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
Yes! Come on, Cat! Come on! Come on!
Okay, log press up next. I think I'm going to stick with this smaller log today. There is a bigger log that I believe is like maybe 55 or 60 kilo. We're going to probably stay with this smaller log today just so I can essentially load it up. And it's a little bit more efficient for obviously energy purposes and that as well. So not obviously, not having to go back and forth with obviously the logs and that, not loading them up or not loading them up for that matter. As you would have seen, deadlift's 280 kilo for a triple. I know I said a conservative single, but it felt so good, and that was the hard part about it. Realistically speaking, I probably could have went 7 plates, maybe even a little bit more than 7 plates. However, I'm happy enough with a triple at 6.5 plates, 14 days out, my last and final deadlift session. Finish off in a high. It was definitely a good few reps in reserve, that's one thing I will say. However, I'm definitely happy that my strength is where it's at right now. I mean, realistically speaking, I've not lost a single thing throughout the full prep, and again, that's a really big thing for me. Stage aside, performance is everything to me. Making sure that I can come in and be strong as fuck and perform at my absolute best is definitely the goal. So we're moving on to log press next. Again, we're just going to see how it feels. Realistically speaking, if anybody's watching this who's experienced in strongman and my technique is absolutely horrendous, don't be afraid to call me out. I don't care at the end of the day. We're in here for a bit of fun today, and that's what matters the most. And yeah, that was really it. I've not really got that much else to cover. We're pretty much just going to get stuck into this, then we'll get on to farmer's carry and just pretty much fly through this session. But I'm enjoying it so far just because deadlifts went well. But log press next. Luke Stoltman, I'm calling you out. Probably never going to watch this, but realistically, if I call him out here, somebody's going to say to him, so we'll get there one day. I'd like to maybe just take like a good set of 5 reps and maybe do that like a couple of times. Again, I'm not going to do like a major big single or anything like that on this because I'm very fresh to something like a log press, and it's definitely not something that I'm really that comfortable or confident going for like a very heavy single. So I'd rather know that I can get a few reps on something, then I'll be happy with that. 3 and 5 reps. And what I'll do this time is I'll actually bring it all the way down, put it back down on the pads, and restart the rep every single time. So I'm going back to the initial starting position every time, because I'm unsure in strongman whether you can essentially just get it here and shoulder press it constantly. I think you actually need to bring it all the way down to the initial starting point. So that's what we'll do, and then I'll do that as my work. It's definitely the getting it from the pads to here is fine, and then it's the explosiveness of getting it up here. I felt as if that got harder by the rep. So obviously, again, I'm no professional strongman, but it's a bit of fun at the end of the day. I'm having good fun today, and that's all that matters. So we're having a very good session. We are having a very good session, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're having a good session.
Wait, get my nails in it. Nice nails, aren't they? They are nice, but you gotta admit.
No comment. Nice and light. Or on to the good old yoke next. Now this is like the second time I've ever done the yoke in my whole entire life. So you're absolutely not going to see anything like 500 kilo on this today. But apart from that, we're going to pretty much take it as far as I can until I can pretty much get a good lap in. So all the way down to the very bottom and back up to the top, which is actually quite a lot. When you think about it, we usually do lunges on this strip, and you can usually fit around maybe between 30 and 40 lunges from here to the very top. So when you think about it, that's relatively far with something like a yoke. However, sometimes we see people in here just flying down with it, which is pretty madness. But we're going to finish on the yoke as the main kind of strongman activity today. We done farmer's carry. I took it to again conservative 25 kilo each like station on it, I guess. I don't even know what it's called. This is the inner bodybuilding coming out of me. I've got not a clue what any of this is called. See how this feels. I'll take this as far as I can, and we'll just go from there. Felt it slipping down my back here on the way back down. That was like the hard part, keeping it like as stationary as possible on my back, because trust me, this is a lot different to a barbell on my back, and I'm getting under it trying to like place it where I would normally put a barbell. So I think maybe it could have been a little bit higher up the way. However, I'm taking that. Happy with that. That's the yoke done. Again, just being as safe as possible but having as much fun as possible. Now we're going to finish on the close grip press. We'll do it free weighted as well because of course everything in Strongman is pretty much free weight. We don't use any machines or anything. I say we as if I'm a strongman. They don't use any machines. Well, you never see them using any. So more or less all free weighted, all barbell or dumbbell or something like that. So we're going to move to a tricep close grip flat press, in which we'll do obviously on the barbell bench, and then realistically that's our strongman workout done for 2 weeks out. If there's one thing that I definitely could have done with in this session is carbohydrates. So I definitely think that that's probably one thing that we're missing out at today's session that I could definitely incorporate in the off season. Is something like either a fruit juice that's going to contain a lot of calories, or carb up, my intra carbohydrate that I'm not allowed on prep. So we've just got no code in here. HR Labs Kippy 15, little plug. To be fair, I've actually had really good fun this session, so I think that's one of the biggest things that I've got to take from this is, you guys know as well, enjoyment's the massive factor here, and I think that's definitely something that I try to be. I'm very much an advocate of enjoyment in training being one of the biggest factors, because if you don't enjoy what you, like, if you don't enjoy your split, if you don't enjoy what you train, if you don't enjoy your exercises, you've got to take on board that you're not going to give 110% every single session. And that's something that training very much requires, is effort. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing, the effort's immediately going to be halved. So make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy your split, your exercise selection. You're doing it for yourself. Of course, you're doing it to improve from a physique development standpoint, don't get me wrong, but you've still got to have that specific level of enjoyment, or you're just going to half-arse it, and that's going to lead to half-arse results. So it's up to you at the end of the day. What we got in there then?
Mine does have carb up in it, so I've got the grape carb up and the cherry bubblegum no code, which if you haven't tried before is elite, like 10 out of 10, from HR Labs of course.
So guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's session, today's strongman session. As you would have seen, we just finished on 3 different back exercises, just pretty much to incorporate a little bit of bodybuilding work in there. Didn't put straps or anything on, didn't really focus on loads, didn't focus on perfect execution or anything. We just pretty much got it done. Finished off in a little bit of biceps as well, because at the end of the day, why wouldn't you? But overall, very good session. Again, as we progressively move into the off season, we're considering keeping something in like a Strongman Sunday or something like that, just so we can kind of incorporate a little bit of these sort of movements into the split itself. And again, because we're in the off season, we'll have a lot more food, a lot more energy to be utilised. It's going to be a lot different to this. We'll be able to take things a lot further, which again will be more exciting for you guys to see as well. But apart from that, that is going to be a wrap for this video. I hope you guys were able to enjoy it, of course. Trying just to bring a little bit of enjoyment as much as value to these videos as possible, and of course to my channel, because we're growing and I want to try and make sure that I'm bringing a bit of pretty much everything, but at the same time taking you guys on the journey. So that's always one of the biggest things. But apart from that, of course, don't forget to drop the like for me, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, because we're growing and we're still on the hunt for 10,000 subs. But that's all from today, so I'll just catch up with you guys in the next video.